What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what it means to have your moon square your partner's moon in Synastry. Moon is a very important part when it comes to determining compatibility and of course synastry. The moon shows our emotions and the way that we naturally respond, and so it is a very important factor. So this aspect can make for a challenging aspect between two moons. It can feel as though both of the partners in this connection with this square are somewhat out of sync with one another, and it can feel as though something is slightly off when it comes to the way that they connect with each other in this connection. Even though it is challenging, like with all squares, they tend to get better with time. The moon has to do with our emotions, and so that feeling of being out of sync or being slightly misunderstood is one that is really felt on an emotional level. It is also one that perhaps is a visceral feeling, and it can be a feeling that is hard to explain for the partners. However, initially with this aspect, the partners can feel very drawn to each other and they can feel very much for one another from the get-go. And this is an aspect that comes out more challenging. They can still have a lot in common and perhaps even have very similar interests, but their motives behind why they do things and why they are interested in things perhaps may be what is very different. And that is where the clash comes in with the square, or the challenge comes in with the square. The challenging side of this square usually comes out in the connection between two people after the honeymoon phase, after the dust settles, or after they move in together especially. They could differ especially when it comes to their definitions of security and how they find comfort with this overlay aspect. The partners may not always understand where the other partner is coming from all the time because of how they would perhaps do things differently, and because of how perhaps they would look at and approach the same thing in a different way. They could differ especially when it comes to their definitions of security and how they find comfort with this overlay aspect. So this can look like the partners criticizing one another when it comes to their different ways of approaching things. There can also be a passive aggressiveness to the interactions at times with the square. Connecting emotionally and mentally is something that the partners with this square have to actively work on, and they feel like they have to put in that active work when it comes to how perhaps they are connecting with each other, because the other way that the other partner perhaps expresses themselves is something that feels very unnatural, or it feels very incorrect to the other partner. And interestingly enough, it is a lot of couples that have this aspect between their moons, and it can definitely be worked through. So just take, for example, a Libra moon person with a Capricorn moon person. So with the Libra moon person, they are more concerned with relationships and with being able to be a part of a partnership that works harmoniously. And the Capricorn moon, on the other hand, is perhaps more concerned with their work and being able to achieve material success and also with accomplishments. So for the Capricorn moon, they are more emotionally self-sufficient, and they view dependency in a different way to the Libra moon, who perhaps finds security in being able to have the partnership and relationships with those around them. The Capricorn moon may find that as a bit threatening to their sense of security, which comes from them being able to work and achieve and accomplish. So they have different ideas of comfort and security. The Libra moon is someone who perhaps finds more joy in being able to socialize, and they feel more comfortable in that than the Capricorn moon, who perhaps would feel more comfortable and secure with being able to accomplish. The Libra moon may be more well balanced than the Capricorn moon, and for this reason there is a little bit of a clash. The Capricorn moon, who would be the one that takes life a lot more seriously in this connection, would make the Libra moon feel as though they are emotionally neglected. They can come across as emotionally unavailable or just inaffectionate, which is something that the Libra moon would need. That warmth and that affection, as well as that ability to be able to talk to their partner and relate to them. and of course that sense of closeness and being together. And then you also get the Aries moon and the Cancer moon. So with these two moon signs, the emotional needs and the emotional nature are very different. And this is where that pressure is with the square. The Cancer moon also really appreciates and values closeness and finds it as a source of security in a connection, whereas the Aries moon could value their independence more than that. The Cancer moon can have place more value on their connections with family and with tradition, and may be more sentimental. They care a lot about being able to maintain their connections and also being able to have peace in their connections. The Aries moon may have a very direct and honest approach, whereas the Cancer moon may perhaps be a little bit more gentle with the way they approach situations, and they could even come across as more indirect when it comes to how they are approaching the Aries moon in this connection. They also hope that the Aries moon will be able to pick up on their emotions, which they never do, because the Aries moon is perhaps a little bit more willing to be able to perhaps confront any situations directly, whereas the Cancer moon is perhaps even better at being able to sense emotions and the needs of those around them. And this is something that perhaps the Aries moon is not very familiar with in the way that the Cancer moon is. And so this can lead to a little bit of a clash, a little bit of a misunderstanding. And this is where the square brings that disconnect or that challenge in this connection. Or let's take the Taurus moon and the Leo moon. This square is especially felt for the partners when it comes to financial matters and financial motives. So Taurus moon may find a lot of security in knowing that they have the financial side under control and that they have money in order to be able to provide them with a comfortable lifestyle. And for the Leo moon, perhaps being able to also be assured and secured as far as the finances is also very important for them, but it is for a different reason. The Leo moon may be more concerned with being able to live a more extravagant kind of a lifestyle, and they may be more generous with their money, and they want to be able to enjoy it. Both Taurus and Leo are both fixed signs, and so these two can clash because of their fixed ways when it comes to perhaps the way that they see things. So they can have very strong personalities as well, but they can be very opinionated when it comes to the topic, and it can be something that provides a source of tension in the connection, and it could be also what contributes to that clash with that square. Or finally, let's take Sagittarius moon and Pisces moon. So what Sagittarius and Pisces have in common is that they are both very expansive thinkers. They are very visionary, and they can be described as being dreamers as well. So both Pisces and Sagittarius are not very concerned with the more practical side of things, but they do have a lot of ideals and a lot of goals and plans. So Pisces can be very big dreamers. They have a lot of hopes, and they can have a lot of fantasies that perhaps they may get lost in. This can look like escapism for the Pisces, but ultimately they are also not limited in how far they can dream. And the Sagittarius is similar in this. So the Pisces is very imaginative in this way, and the Sagittarius can be similar in the sense that they also have big plans and they have big dreams, and they also have big hopes, and perhaps they also may have that desire to be able to travel, and there's this expansive nature in how big they can dream. However, the clash or the challenge with this square may come in when it comes to the way that they communicate. So the Pisces is a little bit more sensitive than the Sagittarius. So with the Sagittarius moon, they are likely to take things a little bit less personally, and they can even come across as being truth tellers in a way that can come across as blunt for the Pisces moon, who is more sensitive, and they could view the Sagittarius moon as being very insensitive in the way that they deliver messages to them. And the Pisces moon is more sensitive to criticism and to abrasiveness, which is something that Sagittarius can come across as when they do not mind how they handle their speech when it comes to delivering messages to the Pisces moon. And so at times Sagittarius can hurt the Pisces moon with words unintentionally. Okay, so those are just a few examples of some moon square moon aspects when it comes to different moon compatibility. So with this aspects between two moons, it can be a bit challenging, but with this it can get better with time, and especially with a lot of effective communication between the two partners in order to understand where the other is coming from, to make each other's feelings feel valid. This is a hard aspect, and so with that it can be intensified in the feelings of this connection. So when things are good, they could be very great, and when things are bad, it is also important to act out emotions or express them appropriately in order not to harm or hurt the other person, as the moon is very sensitive. And of course, it's not all bad or hard work when it comes to this overlay aspect. The two partners can share the kind of bond that is very enjoyable and filled with a lot of laughter whenever they are together. They are also able to perhaps experience a lot of reflection when it comes to experiences that they go through together, and they can laugh together at them. So also with this connection, it shows a lot of genuine and deep care for the other partner. And also there is the high chance of there being a long-term connection between two partners with this aspect. Well, that does it for this video on having your moon squaring your partner's moon. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, please remember to give this video a like, share, comment, and to subscribe to this channel. Well, that is where I love and leave you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye, guys.